name is Mariah. I am the host for SVEDA's Coffee Break. Today I am joined by SVEDA Board Members Bob Wurl and Nathan Berseth. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's get started with where you work and what your occupation is. Bob, you want to go first?
Sure. I work at Lincoln State Bank in Hankinson. I've been here for about 40 years now, and we have offices in Wyndmere and Lidgerwood as well.
Yeah, so recently I just sold my business about 2 months ago, Aurora, the plumbing, heating, electrical company, which was located in Hankinson, where Bob's located. Sold it to a few employees. I still have a land development company that keeps me busy, and I do a fair amount of consulting in the economic development arena.
What value does SVEDA bring to our community?
I think the value it brings is an opportunity for all our communities in Richland and Wilkin County to have that potential to relocate a business, expand a business, or expertise for those companies that are seeking advice. I think it's a resource for all companies and or future entrepreneurs to turn to for opportunities.
Especially for smaller communities such as the three that we have bank offices in. There might be a development organization within each of those communities, but it's all volunteer. And so anyone that's involved with that, it's all kind of outside of their normal day's routine. And so we don't have a lot of time or expertise necessarily in putting packages together, responding to RFPs. And so I think the SVEDA staff, Justin in particular, has a fair amount of experience in responding to companies and so forth. And so he can kind of coach us along and help polish our presentations and present our communities in the best light.
When did you join SVEDA Board of Directors, Bob?
Well, I'm going to defer to Nathan because I think it was 2018 was when the entity was created in January of 2018. And Nathan and I were appointed to represent Richland County, the outlying part of the county, on that board.
Yep, Bob's right. It was 18. It took about a year to get all organizations together and the legal work, but Bob and I were founders, I guess, original board members on it, representing Richland and Wilkin. And then there's 2 representing Wahpeton, 2 representing Wilkin County, and then 2 representing the city of Breckenridge.
What made you interested in becoming a SVEDA board member?
Well, for me, I've always had a passion for economic development. And to Bob's point earlier, especially in smaller communities. And I consider all the communities in Richland and Wilkin County smaller. Maybe Wahpeton, Breckenridge, obviously a little on the higher side. They can have folks to help them. But, you land 5 jobs or 7 jobs in a small community. That's a huge impact for economic impact, and in particular the school district as well. So you don't have to have, a home run can be 5 jobs and the spin-offs from it. So I've always had a passion in that, and that's what I longed for getting on the SVEDA board.
Well, I didn't know that I was interested in joining the SVEDA board until Mr. Berseth contacted me that Richland County JDA had appointed me. But like Nathan, I have been involved with economic development in Hankinson. I've been on the local CDC board, I think about 25 years as the secretary treasurer. And then in the last couple of years, we've split that apart. So I'm still the treasurer and serve on the board, but no longer the secretary here. So,
are you guys involved in the community in any other way?
When you live in a small community, you're either disengaged and not involved in anything, or you're involved in a number of things. But obviously, I've already mentioned our local CDC. We've had an active development group here. I believe early next year, it'll actually be 50 years since our local development corporation was formed. So I've been involved with that for a number of years, and in being a banker in the community, it kind of lends itself. Obviously, what's good for the community is also good for the bank, and we can help drive some of that economic development. Hopefully, we would provide some leadership in that area. Been involved with Commercial Club, which is what Hankinson's organization of businesses, many places call it a chamber. Been involved with various boards and activities in my church, both locally and on a state and even national level to some extent.
To Bob's point, you've got in the small community, it's good or bad. You can't hide, and either you're not involved or 10% carry 90%. And I think it's either in you or it's not in you to be involved. And so I feel like both of us are fairly involved. Bob obviously is the kind of the poster child, but here in our local community, I'm on the school board, Richmond 44 school board. And I've served on the church council. Right now I'm not on church council, but those are probably two. And then I'm active, more of a hobby than a community, as a referee at the college and high school level. But when I was in Hankinson as well, I was involved, not nearly to the extent Bob was, but involved in a few organizations there and more on the fringes of it. But in order for a small community to thrive, you have to have unfortunately, it's usually a handful of people that carry a majority of it, but that's just the way it is, and that's what can make it powerful as well.
Great. And you guys kind of touched on this a little bit, but what is the most rewarding part, in your opinion, in being part of the SVEDA board?
Well, I think, earlier is bringing the two counties together. I mean, if it's a win for Hankinson or Lidgerwood, it's a win for the county, and it's a win for Wapaton, it's a win for Colfax, and vice versa. Same with the Wilkin County side. Just because of the river that runs between us, when I say a win, if there's a job or a business that's relocated or landed in one of our nearby communities, it's a benefit for all of us. There's only so many homes, and somebody might not want to live in a particular community and commute from another community within our county boundaries. So I think that, and again, having that voice for all of our communities, particularly the smaller communities, to voice, opportunity for economic development growth.
I would agree with what Nathan said. The other rewarding part is just the relationships that you build personally with leaders across both counties in this case. A lot of those people I've known of for years, but I've never really worked with them to collaborate on any effort or project. And just through the years that I've found, whether it's in banking or community things, just those relationships that you build, people that you meet later on, if you are working on a project, you've met someone that has expertise in that area, or they are a connecting link to get you to reach a department or an area of state government where you need some assistance. So as having banks in 3 communities that compete fiercely when it comes to football and basketball, I preach to all of those communities is we can cheer against each other as hard as we want on Friday night. When we walk out of the gym after that basketball game, we have to all work together. Because none of us are large enough to take this on and grow it just on our own. It's collaborative efforts that's going to grow the county and the 2-county region.
Absolutely. And as you both know, SVEDA is here for entrepreneurs. In your opinion, what does it take to be an entrepreneur? What is the best value that an entrepreneur can have?
I jotted down, thought about that a little bit, and I'm going to say 2 things. I think maybe the one that's most obvious is perseverance. Is just you're going to run into roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, but there again, you have to reach out and not let that one thing just stop you from trying to realize your dream, and then that kind of leads into the second quality that I think is to recognize the areas you're not good in and fill those with people that are good in those areas and let them help you. If you're you can invent something, you're more of an engineering type, you're probably not good on the finance side or the business administration side of your business. Just recognize that and seek help in those areas that you're not strong in, and don't be afraid.
Resiliency. I mean, there's going to be a time where you're going to hit a road bump, I think, and you just have to persevere. Perseverance, resiliency, I think, is a quality that's undervalued when it comes to business ownership. There's going to be some trying times. It's not all roses being a business owner. And optimistic. I think you have to be an optimistic person. Now, having said that, Bob as a banker, probably sees a lot of optimistic business owners that are unrealistic. So I think it's a combination of finding that balance of, you have to be optimistic and know that tomorrow's going to be better and the next year is going to be better. Work hard at it, but you have to be real with yourself as well and understand your business. And Bob brings up a really good point, is I think oftentimes, for example, in the business I just got out of the trades, they might be really good in the trades, but on the dollars and cents side of it, the business side of it, I think that's oftentimes because when they get to be entrepreneurs, they have that skill that they've honed really well, and recognize that and farm it out, subcontract that out so you can focus on it. Otherwise, you're going to burn yourself out doing something you despise doing, or you're not going to do it very well and your business is going to suffer.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's end with the final question. Why is Richland County a great place to do business?
Well, I wouldn't say I'd get emotional, but I'm a lifelong resident of Richland, as well as Bob is, I know, and I'm wildly biased. Richland and Wilkin County, both not only a great place to do business, but a great place to live. I think we have a very welcoming financial institutions to support business entrepreneurs. I don't think it hasn't been an issue, at least in my length of career. I think that really helps. I don't think we have a lot of barriers as far as governmental red tape. I think that helps as well. It's a good balance. And we have a lot of community members, constituents that are willing to support small businesses and want to see small businesses succeed. And so, and of course, it's just a great place to raise a family, which I don't think you can have a great place to have a business without having a great place to raise a family. I think they have to go hand in hand.
Yeah, I would agree with Nathan. I think it's a quality of life thing, and I think we might see some of that impact as a result of the pandemic situation we're in right now. As I think people are, through technology, we've discovered there's a lot more jobs that can be done remotely. You don't need to be on the 30th floor of an office building in Minneapolis or Chicago. You can be working from home. Richland County, through one of the cooperatives in the county, provides some of the fastest internet anywhere. So we've got that resource, but can still enjoy the quality of life of that small community. And it is that as a small business, we do have a good share of our community is very sensitive to that, and they support those small businesses as much as they possibly can. So I think it's a quality of life thing. It's relationships. I had a customer a few years ago that had lived in Fargo for some time. They moved here, found employment here, and they had made the remark about how nice it is to walk into the hardware store and the owners are waiting on you, or if they don't have what you're looking for, they can order it, and you actually know the people that own the business. So I think there's just a lot of value there.